Good day to you. It is review day, and I've wanted to feature this on GotAUkulele for years now. Finally got around to getting hold of one on loan from Stones Music, the distributor. This is the Risa LP Tenor electric ukulele, and it is stunning to look at. I think you'll agree. Sorry about the focus going out there, it's very shiny. It's an electric tenor built in the Les Paul style. I'm not calling it the Les Paul, it's the LP. It's built on the Les Paul style, so double bout shape with that cutaway, and it looks like a Les Paul. Now, before we get into it, I've said before I'm not a huge fan of ukuleles that are built to look like guitars, but that's usually when they're built to look like guitars for the sake of it. Either they're built badly or they're built all on looks but don't sound good as ukuleles. Risa are a German brand who do the unusual and have not let me down with instruments that they've made before. They're very high quality, and this is renowned to be high quality, but let's take a further look at it. So, as I say, Les Paul shape, all mahogany body, two pieces on that top which is dropped onto an all solid mahogany body that holds the chambers, which contains the pickups and the electrics, all finished in a gloss. And this is the cherry sunburst. They also do it in a tobacco sunburst. This is the tenor. They also do it in a long neck soprano as well, and it looks like a Les Paul, curved top. It's absolutely beautiful. The gloss is wonderful. I like everything about it. Okay, there's one or two little knot marks in the wood which irritate, but they don't really change anything about it. And that's it. It doesn't really need much more decoration other than that cream edge binding around the top. And it's a lovely beast. It's a really lovely beast. And on the back, it's just a deep red with the control cavities to get at the wiring here. Right, okay, let's get into it, because it's not going to run like a normal ukulele review, this one. So we've got micro saddles here, which are like those on Fender guitars. Would have liked to have seen that be a Tune-o-matic bridge, which is more like the Gibson Les Paul, but I suspect space was the issue there, because they're quite fiddly and you need an extra tailpiece. Controlling these two humbucker pickups, which are made for Risa. They're not, I don't believe, just off-the-shelf Chinese rubbish, in black surrounds, which are adjustable for height on treble and bass, like an electric guitar. And controlling those, you've got volume and tone controls for both, and a selector switch allowing you to use the neck pickup or the bridge pickup, or indeed both as a pair. If you know your electric guitars, that's a nice setup. And it's really good. It's really good. I can't stop looking at it. Up to the neck, this is made of mahogany stained in the same red cherry. It's a set neck, so it's not bolted on like things like the Epiphone Les Paul were. A couple of strap buttons as well, obviously, which you'll need because this is a substantial beast on weight, although nicely balanced. So mahogany neck, it's rounded in profile on the back, and it's very narrow at 34mm at the nut, but that doesn't actually bother me because these are steel strings, so they're much thinner than nylon strings, and you're still getting 27 between G and A, really comfortable. That's topped in an unspecified dark hardwood with cream edge binding. You get a bit of an excessive number of these parallelogram or whatever called trapezoid inlays, square inlays in pearl, because there's one at the first, the third, the fifth, the seventh, the 10th, the 12th, and so on. I found them quite distracting when playing because I couldn't really remember where I was. You do get black side dots though as well, which is nice to see. It's a nice neck. The frets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to the body, 16, 17, 18, 19 in total. You also get a 0 fret up here just after the nut, which sets the height right. That's good to see because often I find with steel strung electrics is that unless you've got it absolutely set up right at the nut, they just play out of tune because you bend the strings too easily. That's a good touch. Beyond that black nut, don't know what that's made of. It's a Gibson-esque shaped headstock with a bit of a scroll work up at the top holding the Risa logo. It's faced in black gloss, and it's got a truss rod adjustment cover there, which is nice to see because this is steel strung tension, so truss rod is probably quite important for setting the neck relief, which on this is alright. I like that. I like it much more than the Les Paul Epiphone headstock because it's not as narrow and it doesn't look skinny and weird. Tuners, excellent quality. Grover brand sealed chrome gears with kidney-shaped buttons. It comes with the middle 4 strings of an electric guitar set of 10s. Go and have a look at the written review below. All the details in there. I'm not going to bore you with that. They're 10s in the middle, and it's set up for low G. They're steel strung, and that G is a wound string. But they're all steel, so we're not using normal, regular ukulele conventions. Yeah, there we are. I'd actually prefer 11s. I find these a little bit skinny on the fingers, but that's personal preference. It comes with a padded gig bag, as standard. There we are. You can get an optional hard case with it. And the price of these is about £550, £560, so it's a serious bit of money. But anyone who knows electric guitars knows that if you go really cheap, and this is where this review, people will say, well, I've got a Vorson or things like that, and it's just as good. No, it isn't. I've played them. They're not as good. Because it's not just about the looks and the build, and this is really nice all over. It really is nice all over, but it's about the quality of this bit, what's going on down here, and that's often where solid steel electrics can be a real letdown. I do like the build. There's one or two design cues I don't like. I think the fret markers are excessive. I don't like that the selector switch is here because it's where I tend to strum, and I'm finding myself catching it. Again, that's just a personal minor niggle. I'm going to plug it in. I'm not actually going to do a lot of playing of it because it's built really well, and I'll tell you this, it's extremely nice and light to play on the fingerboard. That 0 fret's really helping with intonation. It doesn't squeeze out the tune when you play it. It's a very fast neck. But the reason I'm not going to plug it in and do a lot, well, I'm going to plug it in, but I'm not going to do a lot of playing, is because it depends what you're plugging it into. Now, this is a serious instrument. You could plug this into a big Marshall stack, which I don't have here. I used to own one. It's being plugged into a Yamaha THR blues ukulele, blues portable amp. They're very good. This is not an instrument that you're going to get really much out of if you plug it into a little honeytone 9-volt amp. That's not the point of it. So what you hear here is just basically what that Yamaha's doing. It depends what you plug it into. And the sky's the limit. That's the nice thing about it. Pick, of course. So it makes very little noise unplugged, obviously. Sounds like an unplugged electric guitar. Into the jack socket. And I've got this on a completely flat setting, a clean channel. And it sounds like a clean electric guitar. You can play it for jazz. You know, I'm sounding like underwhelmed, but that's not what this is about. One thing I will say about it, the tone has a really nice sweep to it. What doesn't have a really nice sweep to it is the volume, which is kind of off and then ramps up really quickly and then doesn't really do much. So off. But doesn't really get much louder. A bit. I wish there was a lot more on that. It's a minor gripe though, because you can control it on the amp or you can run it through a volume pedal. But that's not what this is about. What this is about is you're going to add some gain. That's what you're going to do with it. And that is where it's fun. It's a nice clean sound. I could have hours and hours and hours of fun with this. It's really, really well made. Those pickups sound great. I mean, you can... I'm just playing with amp styles. Back to clean. Sustain. Sustain, sustain, sustain. Sounds like Spinal Tap. Still going. Still going. That's what you'd expect from steel strings. Look, I'm not going to give you, as I say, it's not going to be about the play. This is just really well made. Take it from me, it gets a very high score, and deservedly so. The Risa LP Tenor electric ukulele, available from Risa stockists. I think it's absolutely stellar. I think you could really have fun with this through a set of pedals. And a decent stack amplifier. Equally, with a little portable amplifier, you can have a lot of fun with it as well. You know, I love it. I really love it. It gets highly recommended. It's really well built. I can't really say much more. There we are. Risa LP Tenor. Back next week. Check the written review below. That's where all the detail is. Better pictures, more detail. I go into some of the history of it, that kind of thing. And do consider the Patreon because it really helps me out. I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.